everyone, welcome to Inner Growth, Healing is a Journey. I'm Wendy Rodriguez, and this video will be We Are All Human. And yes, I'm on the floor right now, but I'm still repping the Inner Growth, Healing is a Journey. The reason why I am on the floor is because I am totally moving apartments and I'm selling all my furniture. I'm downsizing 100%. And I'm selling everything. And so the next couple of videos I might be in random places or just in a different place completely. Yesterday I totally recorded a whole entire video. It was amazing, super great. I felt it, I was inspired. And then I had too much storage on my phone and so it completely deleted it. So I am going to remake the video, which is this is what it is today. And I want to still talk about every single point that I did yesterday. I just really hope that I get the same feeling that I felt last time. And so here it is. The topic is we are all human, and that is kind of the base of, I think, the 3 or 4 points that I have going on. So I haven't posted any videos for about 4 weeks now, I think it has been. And like since the last time that I didn't post a video, I think it was when I was doing my 90-day challenge diet-wise, and I was going to journal every single week, and I was really excited about it. And honestly, I haven't for the last 4 weeks. And so I have been trying to stay on my diet still. But I am human, and so I have had a couple of days where I maybe have 8 grains, like a sandwich or something. And I honestly take it to the stressors and how some people emotionally eat and some people don't eat at all, and I feel like I do a little bit of both. And so with that being said, I was a little bit embarrassed to post anything because I was like, I haven't been on my diet. But then knowing that I'm hard on myself in that aspect, I just had to relax and be okay with, hey, I'm still continuing on a better lifestyle than I had before, and I'm still detoxing and taking the supplements and everything that I need in order for my body to relax and be at health as much as possible. So I was really happy about that. I have been going through a lot of different stressors with even just selling my furniture. I do tend to really hold on to things and memories. And so the furniture that I have in this apartment, I bought with my ex-boyfriend, and he was always really good at making kind of an event out of just, I guess, buying some of the stuff. And so we would buy couches and he'd be like, oh, that's so cool. We bought couches together. This is something super great. And so I just sold my couches and it made me feel some type of way. And then I'm selling, my table, my coffee table, my lamps, just random stuff. I'm literally just going to stay with a mattress and maybe two dressers, if that. So super downsizing. I really feel like it's something that I need to do. I do think it's like a calling at this point for me to want to leave this place, want to leave the experiences here, the memories here, and just move forward with my life with new experiences and new adventure. And what better way to kind of get rid of the past and let go of everything that I have been attached with and start fresh just somewhere else. I did find a really great new place, and so I'm super excited about that. I will be literally just more of a minimalist at this point. You don't realize how many things you have until you start selling a lot of your things, like just random things that I'm selling. But that's been a little bit stressful for me. I have felt like crap just letting go of that, letting go of my past, letting go of my ex, letting go of all of that has been just super major for me, and really a trigger for my emotional eating or lack of eating. And so that's kind of goes hand in hand with the 90-day challenge. It is a lot to do with also just being human. We experience stressors like this, and for me, this is a huge stressor. So another thing that has been very in my face has been relationship aspect of stressors. And I think that I'm now allowing myself to be more just thinking through my heart brain. And I don't know if I've ever talked about that, but you know how you have your logical brain and then your heart brain, and they both have the same wiring as like your heart has the same wiring as a brain, there's a certain part of it that like there has the same connections and all that stuff, and you hold a lot of memories and just traumas, you know, there. And so your heart knows. I am super grateful that I am starting to think more with my heart brain than my logical brain. I do think that there is a huge difference. You honestly change the way you think, change the way you word things. Your compassion changes. I guess just your whole being changes and the whole view on things change, instead of having just hard armor all the time of just hate and ignorance and logically analyzing, overthinking everything all the time. And so I'm super grateful that I got to this point through the year and a half, and I'm still continuing my journey with everything like that. My chiropractor just recommended this book to me. It's The Secret Language of Feelings, and it really just, I'm only halfway through, so I haven't read it all, but it honestly just gives me a better thought process of like just that feelings are valid and every feeling is good, because it's an indicator that something is upset, or not wrong, but just upset. And so you either have the option to distract yourself and ignore it, or fix it and really work through the emotion. And a lot of us really do try to distract ourselves with anything: drugs, alcohol, other humans, TV, you know, video games, phones. And I've gotten really good, me myself, I've gotten really good at distracting myself when I have felt like I don't really want to be in my own head, I don't want to be in my own thoughts, I just want to go out and hang out. And I have had times where I have called people and been like, we should go hang out, we should go dancing, or so we do all that stuff, and I come back and I'm not fulfilled, you know. So it's that chase, it's that cycle that you continually want the instant gratification, and it's not anything fulfilling. And so I am to the point in my life where I am more open. My heart is open to love and loving myself more. I love myself a whole lot more than I did even a year ago. And so I know that it's just going to grow more and more. And I know that I'm available now emotionally to give the next partner, the next boyfriend I have, just all of my love. And one day, you know, give my kids. And I just feel like I'm just so... If I'm not 100%, I'm 99.9% now using my heart brain rather than my logical brain. And I really do think it's inspiring, and it just changes your whole life. And I personally do think that it's a more fulfilling life living from your heart than from your head. There are the, you know, pros and cons to both, but specifically the heart brain aspect of the perspective really has helped me. And it just like brings you closer to source, in my opinion, and it gives you more love and peace and harmony just for people around you. And you just love everything. You just start loving plants and start loving animals and start loving objects, and just, that's a beautiful, you know, like you just appreciate things. All of this again is my opinion, and that's just kind of my thoughts on that. I guess the last thing that has kind of been going on in my life has been, I don't know, I guess through this journey, this healing journey and growing journey, you kind of, or I guess I have gotten the misconception that I should be on all the time. I should be happy all the time and have positive vibes for people around me, because I am an inner growth YouTuber, and I am a motivational speaker, and I do want to portray just a super great image of myself, right? And the misconception is that like I am not human, right? That I'm just like a robot and super happy all the time. And that's why this message is so strong and so pure to my heart, is that we are all human. And I sometimes forget that, and I just want to be so robotic and, hey, like I'm not angry, I'm not I'm not sad, I don't want to cry, like, and I have to remember like all those feelings are super good, and to listen to all of them. Maybe because I have learned so much and educated myself so much on inner growth and really just like the human mind and the human heart and just feelings and emotions and all these different things, that it's kind of like a mechanic, right? Like you go to a mechanic because they're educated on this aspect. And so if mechanics is walking around, they can look at a car or maybe listen to a car and be like, you know, there's something wrong with it, or I can see something wrong with it. And I think that I've had that underlining intention without even meaning to just meet people and analyze them or pre-analyze them before I even know them, just by hearing what they say or seeing their mannerisms or the way they carry themselves. And that's not the most awesome thing to do on my part, but it does come natural at this point, just knowing so much about this. If someone tells me about their experience and I've lived it, then I kind of know where their headspace is at in that particular time. And so sometimes I do catch myself feeling like maybe I do know a little bit more about inner growth than other people. And so I don't want ever to like make people feel less than me, or that I'm sitting here preaching and saying you're wrong and I'm right and I know everything. And I do think that it's good to get checked. Like the other day somebody checked me and was like, hey, like, how is it cool for you to say what you say, and like I can't speak my truth, you know? And that's valid. That's very valid. I am human, and so I feel like I do have the tendency, maybe sometimes depending on the day, like I do get a little bit more defensive if someone is kind of going against what I think is right, and I forget to sit and listen and be like, oh, okay, I could see your perspective on things. I do think that checking yourself periodically, and knowing that, like, regardless if you're a master at what you do, at your career, of who you are, of anything that you are, like, it's always great to kind of humble yourself back and know that everybody's great at something, and not just because they're not maybe as far along in the journey as you are doesn't mean that they're less of you. They're literally just going through their own struggles. And I don't purposely do it, but I have been checked a couple of times, just like, hey, like, you know, you're not better than me. And I'm like, I know I'm not better than you. I never, like, my intention every morning isn't to wake up and be like, hey, like, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, like, be better. Like, I genuinely want to help people. I honestly genuinely feel like I've been really connected to source, and so, like, anytime I say something, I feel like it's just kind of meant to be said. I feel like constructive criticism, yeah, it can hurt my feelings sometimes, and I feel a little bit like drawn back, like, what, you know? And especially when you feel like you're going on the right path and stuff. But at the end of the day, there's going to be so many different opinions of you and your thoughts and your perspective. And so I guess just stay true to yourself. Like, you are the master of your soul, and there's nothing else you can really do about it. You know, you can listen and appreciate the challenge and just kind of move on. So yes, a lot has been going on, and I'm glad I was able to redo this video because there was a lot of good material and I felt like it was super, super important. I will continue to post videos. I won't pressure myself, as I kind of started feeling a little bit of pressure this weekend, just like, what am I going to post? Or I should, you know, and a little bit of me is just like, oh, like maybe I shouldn't post, like, but I got a reminder from this guy, and he's just so great, and he was just like, Wendy, like, you, because I was telling him, like, oh, in my new place, like, I'm gonna have a roommate and I feel a little bit embarrassed to be filming, but he's like, you don't do this for you, you do this for other people, and so don't feel embarrassed, because it's like some of the things that you have to say are meant to be heard through other people, and like maybe you can even help your roommate out, you know, with certain things. And I completely forget, like, I become so self-absorbed of just like, this YouTube means so much to me, but as many people, or as minimal people that watch this, it honestly, I think I want to cry because this is just like, to me, this is me contributing to the world for world peace and inner growth and empowerment of every human being and every soul in the universe. Like, this isn't about me. And it was good, again, to be checked on that. Just like, you know, put your ego aside and do what you were put here to do. And I full-heartedly think that each and every one of us were put here to share our gifts together and really uplift one another. And so this is my gift. I really do love to talk, and I talk from my heart brain. And I really do feel like my experiences, though they're mine, other people can relate and really, really take a lot from it. So I'm grateful for anybody and everybody who watches, and so I appreciate every single one of you. Remember that you are unconditionally loved, unconditionally valued, and unconditionally enough by just being you. Thanks so much for watching. Love you guys.